Sound check.
The person we're waiting is here. And please, as he walks in, I want us to do him the honor of standing to usher him in. It's still coming. You know, we have to take it easy. Yes, I'm just informing you, but once it gets to the entrance, load those music.
Okay, wait a minute. Thank you so much, Lord. Thank you so much, Lord. Thank you so much, Lord Jesus. We thank everything. Thank you so much, Lord Jesus. Thank you so much, Lord Jesus. Thank you so much, Lord. We thank you, Thank you so much, Lord Jesus. Thank you so much, Lord Jesus. Thank you so much, Lord Jesus. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. We thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much, Lord Jesus. It's your person. Thank you so much, Lord Jesus. Thank you so much, Lord Jesus. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. You want me more. You want me more. You want me more.
Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Can we kindly have our seats so that we can start off immediately? Thank you all very much for honoring our dear Baba. He's here this morning. The chairman of today's occasion, our own Mama Kweju Unwuga. That's what we call her, one of our living legends in the profession. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, who is on his way. The Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration, that's Professor Peter Olakbega. All the directors of institutes, deans of faculties, heads of department here present, distinguished professors, it is my singular honor and privilege to welcome you on behalf of the Department of Physiotherapy, Faculty of Clinical Sciences, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. It's my honor, it's my privilege to welcome you to this auspicious occasion of the commissioning of the T. Abayomi Oshin Heritage Museum and the unveiling of a documentary on the life and times of Dr. T. Abayomi Oshin. I want to particularly welcome and congratulate the honoree of today, our own dear father, grandfather, great-grandfather of the physiotherapy profession, Pa T. Abayomi Oshin, a pioneer, an educator, a very distinguished and highly referred and accomplished gentleman who blazed the trail for physiotherapy practice and education in Nigeria. We really welcome you, sir. I want to acknowledge our distinguished guest. It is not my responsibility to do that. When it's the right person, we set the protocol for this occasion. I just want to welcome you. Oh, the Vice Chancellor is here. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Yes, sir. BBC.
Amen.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians home and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
Thank you very much. We may have our seats. Without wasting much of our time, I'm going to be calling on the head of the department. Oh, okay. You're welcome, sir. The Provost College of Medicine is coming in, and also the Deputy Provost. We have deans. You're welcome, sir. Okay, so we go on straight into the business of the day. I'd like to call on the head of the Department of Physiotherapy, Professor Adeshola C. Odoli, for a welcome address. But before she goes into a welcome address, she's going to set the protocol. Yeah, she will establish the protocol for today so that all the other people that will be talking would not have to go through the process again. I'm trusting that she will establish a protocol that is firm enough for people to stand on. Professor Adeshola C. Odoli, you're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Olaleye. I've been given a Herculean kind of task, so I'm trusting God to help me. The chairman of this historic event, Mrs. Olakpeju Gladys Onwuga. The Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor K.O. Adibawale, FAS, MNI. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, Professor J.T. Awetiba. The Provost of this, our Noble College of Medicine, Professor T.O. Ogundiran. The Chief Medical Director of the University College Hospital, Professor J.C. Abiodun Otebayo, ably represented by my own birthday mate, Professor Olushola Olawoye. The Deputy Provost, our own revered Reverend Professor S.B. Olaleye. The Secretary to the College in absentia, I'm sure he will join us, Mr. A.E. Odedele. The Financial Controller that just walked in a few seconds ago, Mr. Eso Ayoshino. The Medical Librarian, I'm sure she will join us soon, Dr. Grace A. Ajuwo. The Dean of our Mother Faculty in the College of Medicine, she's the Dean of the Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences. So students, I'm giving you Orijo if you are asked that question. Professor Oyewonke A. Odunola. The Dean of my own faculty, the Faculty of Clinical Sciences, Professor T.A. Lawal, ably represented by Professor A.M. Adebayo, my brother. All other deans, I guess we need to acknowledge them when they come. The deans of other faculties in the College of Medicine, Public Health, Dentistry, Basic Clinical Sciences, Nursing. The CMAC, I hope she joins us. And the Director of Administration, Mrs. Eze, ably represented by Mrs. Ajuwon. Mrs. Ajala, please pardon me, I'm sorry. Mrs. Ajala. The Director of Finance and Accounts, UCH, Mr. S.K. Adeshino. All our Deputy CMACs, we acknowledge you. The President of ICOMA, our Baba, ICOMA Worldwide, Emeritus Professor S.I. Omokodion. Our past Provost of the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. Our esteemed professors and living legends. Please permit me to single out my own mama, Professor Olaitan Shoyonwo. Our sub-deans here present, undergraduate and postgraduate. While I was acknowledging the past provost, I didn't know she came in a few minutes ago, and that is in the person of Professor Olayinka Omigbodun. Heads of supporting departments. You know, physiotherapy cannot run alone. We have supporting departments in the College of Medicine. Anatomy, biochemistry, nutrition, physiology. Professional associations, presidents of the NSP and the president of ACAPEN. I recognize you. The president of NSP is ably represented by Mrs. Foluke Asoluka. You're welcome. Thank you. The head department of physiotherapy, University College Hospital, ably represented by Mrs. BMS Tinubu. So if you need anything, you want access to the president, please see her after this ceremony. The dean, we have some noble people here with us. And I want to acknowledge the dean of the Faculty of Health Professions, College of Medicine, University of Lagos, Professor Bidemi Tella. Maybe I should have recognized the deputy provost first. The deputy provost, College of Medicine, University of Lagos, Professor Femi Adebiyi, who had to turn back because of the traffic jam on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway today. I'm sure he's online with us. The directors, we have so many directors, and I cannot begin to enumerate you one after the other. The directors and heads of physiotherapy institutions, all physiotherapy institutions, whether teaching or health institutions, I acknowledge you. In the Southwest, I acknowledge you. Our distinguished retired physiotherapist, I recognize you so much. We have online Mama Oshinobi, Mama Wusu, Mama Olubajo, Mama Kijo, and we have her represented physically. We have Pa Alegbeleye, we have Mrs. Taiwo, we have Mr. Akitayo, we have Mr. Bodmas, we have Mr. Adelowoko. You are warmly welcome. All our physiotherapy elders, all our elders, I think I should just do this, even though I'm establishing protocol. You are warmly welcome. Our PTs in Oyo State, all physiotherapy colleagues in the Oyo State and in the University College Hospital, you are warmly welcome. Our alumni in diaspora and in Nigeria, distinguished members of the Oshin family, our revered centenarian, Pa Dr. Thompson Abayomi Oshin. Eminent guests in this place, all my colleagues, all my students, I already acknowledged our sub-deans, undergraduates and postgraduates, all our students, both undergraduate and postgraduate students, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, it is with immense gratitude, profound pride, and a deep sense of history that I welcome you all to this landmark occasion, the commissioning of Dr. T. Abayomi Oshin Heritage Museum, as we celebrate the centenary birthday anniversary of one of Africa's greatest healthcare pioneers, Pa Dr. Thompson Abayomi Oshin. Today is more than opening of a museum. It is the unveiling of a living repository of excellence, resilience, innovation, and service. It is a place where future generations will encounter the remarkable journey of a man whose vision transformed physiotherapists have built distinguished careers. I belong to that category. In clinical practice, teaching, research, leadership, and public service. As head of the Department of Physiotherapy, I stand on the shoulders of these giants. Every lecture delivered, every student trained, every patient rehabilitated, every research breakthrough, and every professional milestone achieved by our department bears the imprint of his pioneering vision. The Heritage Museum we commissioned today serves a noble purpose. It preserves our collective memory. It tells the story of perseverance. It celebrates professional excellence. And it reminds us that greatness is achieved through commitment to knowledge, integrity, compassion, and service to humanity. It will inspire our students to dream beyond limitations. It will encourage researchers to continue expanding the frontiers of rehabilitation science. We are profoundly grateful to the Oshin family for this enduring gift of the Thompson Abayomi Oshin Physiotherapy Building, a building that was facilitated by our immediate past provost, Professor Oluyinka Omigodu. Without this building, we cannot be talking of commissioning a museum today. Your unwavering commitment, sir, to preserving your father's legacy demonstrates the true wealth, that true wealth lies not merely in possessions, but in the values, institutions, and opportunities we leave behind for future generations. Through your generosity, the history of physiotherapy in Nigeria has found a permanent home. To our students, I encourage you to regard this museum not simply as a historical collection, but as a classroom without walls. Let every exhibit remind you that excellence requires discipline, sacrifice, continuous learning, and a passion for improving lives. To our professional colleagues, let this occasion renew our commitment to advancing physiotherapy through evidence-based practice, innovation, interdisciplinary collaboration, and transdisciplinary collaboration, ethical leadership, and impactful research. The greatest tribute we can pay to our distinguished centenarian is to ensure that the profession he nurtured continues to flourish and remains at the forefront of healthcare delivery. To our dear Pa Oshin, Papa, Bami, words alone cannot adequately express our appreciation. Your life has been a blessing to this department, this university, our profession, and our nation. You have shown us that one visionary individual can change the course of history. Your legacy is written not only in books and awards, but in the thousands of professionals you have inspired and the millions of lives that have been touched through physiotherapy. As we celebrate your 100 years of purposeful living, we also celebrate the enduring values you represent: service, humility, excellence, integrity, generosity. Each time we visit Baba, we must always have things to go back home with. An unwavering faith in education. May this heritage museum, a legacy that transcends generations, continue to educate, inspire, and preserve your remarkable story for generations yet unborn. On behalf of the Department of Physiotherapy, I congratulate the Oshin family, the university community, our professional colleagues, and everyone whose dedication has made this historic occasion possible. Happy 100th birthday, Pa Dr. Thompson Abayomi Oshin. May your extraordinary legacy continue to illuminate the path of physiotherapy in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. I want to end this message by appreciating the duo of Doctors Use A. Odunaya and Olubukola Mi A. Olaleye for their unquantifiable work towards the outcome of today. To every single donor and contributor to this Dr. T. Abayomi Oshin's project, I thank you very much. I pray the Lord blesses you all beyond measures. Thank you for your attention. God bless the Department of Physiotherapy. God bless the Faculty of Clinical Sciences. God bless the College of Medicine. God bless the University of Ibadan. And God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless us all.
Thank you very much, on there, head of department. Eki Joko, Yemi Onbami. Bayani lawa share fun leni. So, mani suru ni. Now, without wasting much of our time, I'd like to call on the chairman of the occasion. No, you don't have to come, ma. I'm going to bring the mic to you. Our own there, Mama Kweju Unwuga, for our opening remark.
This is a big task because anybody who comes after you, madam, is in trouble. I am in trouble. But I beg your indulgence, everybody. First and foremost, I would like to say Ogasa. That is what we call him in the physiotherapy department in the 60s. Ogasa. Because she's taller than all of us, bigger than all of us, and of course more knowledgeable than all of us. So all the protocol, I suppose you will excuse me if I don't repeat everything she has said, because she said them so beautifully and I don't think I can follow through. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome you all to this memorable and historic occasion. Today, we gather not only to commission and unveil a magnificent centenary museum, but also to celebrate the remarkable life and enduring legacy of an extraordinary Nigerian, Dr. Thompson Abayomi Oshin. As he marks his 100th birthday. Reaching the age of 100 is a rare blessing. I can tell you, I'm approaching 90 and I still think it's a long, long journey. So, to do so with a life distinguished by integrity, service, excellence, and compassion is an achievement worthy of our admiration and celebration. Dr. Oshin's life reminds us that true greatness is measured not simply by the years we live, but by the lives we touch and the legacy we leave behind. The generous donation of this state-of-the-art physiotherapy building by the Oshin family to the Department of Physiotherapy, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, is a remarkable act of philanthropy. It reflects a deep commitment to education, healthcare, and national development. And it will benefit generations of students, researchers, healthcare professions, and patients. The Centenary Museum we commissioned today is equally significant. It will preserve the story of a life devoted to service and excellence, inspiring future generations to embrace the values of hard work, integrity, humility, and selfless leadership. To our distinguished celebrant, Dr. Papa Thompson Abayomi Oshin, we offer our warmest congratulations on this exceptional milestone. I hope you've gotten an SMS from the Tinubu. You should have. We celebrate your life, sir, your achievements, and the values you have passed on to your family and to the society. May your legacy continue to inspire generations to come. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your presence. It is now my pleasure to formally declare this ceremony open. May God bless Dr. Thompson Abayomi Oshin, the Oshin family, the University of Ibadan, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. I remember during the course of this, we're going to interview Mama. And we said, don't worry, we'll come to your house. And she said she was going to come to the studio. I said, it's on the 3rd floor. She said, yes. I even had palpitation. I was like, how will someone approaching 19 be able to climb the third floor. But she did. She came and she was walking. I was saying, your shoe has healed. She said, is this one healed? And that's to tell you that physiotherapy works. You're going right through into old age. Now, before we move on to the next item on the program, I'd like to recognize our guests who are online. I want to recognize Emeritus Professor Oluwole Akonde. He should have been here, but he's unavoidably absent. But he's online. He's joining us online. That's the first provost of the College of Medicine, and it's under his leadership that physiotherapy became a department. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. I want to recognize Professor Asinobi, that's the Vice President, too, of the Ibadan College of Medicine Alumni Association Worldwide. I recognize Professor I.A. Bello. I recognize the Dean of Faculty of Nursing, Professor Priska Adejimo. She's also online with us. I want to recognize one of our benefactors, a great alumnus of this department, Dr. Ayodeji Famuide, who is also online. I think he's the president of the Association of the Alumni Association of Physiotherapists in the US. I want to recognize the head of department and the director of physiotherapy, University College Hospital, Dr. Raymond Olasande is online. I want to recognize the chairman of the Oyo State Nigeria Society of Physiotherapy, Dr. Olusegun Adejare. I want to recognize Professor UAC Okafo. That's the president of ACAPIN. That's the Association of Clinical and Academic Physiotherapists in Nigeria. He is also online with us. So all our other guests, as they come in, we will continue to recognize them. But while the chairman of the occasion was declaring the program open, I noticed that the librarian worked in the medical librarian, Dr. Grace Ajuo. And the secretary to the college is here already. You're welcome, sir. Thank you for coming. Admit your busy schedule. We really appreciate your presence. So now, without wasting much of our time, I would like to call on the coordinator of this program to tell us the story behind the Abayomi Oshin Heritage Museum. So it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Nsel Dunaya to the podium. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I think Dr. Lalaye should stand by because we work together. Thank you very much. My head of department at late protocol today, I'm a bit emotional because there's a lot to talk about. I have a short time. The chairperson of today's epoch-making occasion, Mama Nwuga, as we call her, 87-year-old woman that flew up the stairs 3 weeks ago, third floor. Our Vice Chancellor, sir, our Vice Chancellor has shown us support, and the whole world knows that our Vice Chancellor loves physiotherapy department. It's glaring. It's glaring. Our Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics, all the principal officers of the University of Ibadan, Provost, amiable and calm Provost, sir, the great achiever, the man who manages people very well, our Deputy Provost, the representative of the CMD, all principal officers of the College of Medicine and University College Hospital. I do not want to go through the protocols again. Mine is to tell a story. And I want to thank everyone present here for gracing this occasion. The Department of Physiotherapy has a tradition. We visit Papa regularly. In the year 2022, through the facilitation of an energetic woman, our immediate past provost, Professor Olayinka Migbodo, we had a sword turning ceremony. Incidentally, Professor Adeshola Odole had to act for the then head of department, who was avoidedly absent. And so she became the acting HOD for that event. That ushered her in as the acting HOD. We concluded that event, the building, and we celebrated, we commissioned the building on the 30th of July again, on Papa's 98th birthday. It was an epoch-making event. The creams of the society were all here. We were very happy. One of the times we were in Papa's house, because when the building was going on, Papa had told us that one of the rooms has to be a museum, and we had agreed. So when we go visiting, Papa will say, when will the museum be ready? Particularly last year, we went on a visit, like other heads of departments do, and Professor Adeshola Odole said, Ejaloki Baba, Ejaloki Baba, it's been a long time. So many of us in the department went to Papa's house. On that day, Papa called her, Shola, Shekini ki carpenter mi wa, ko wa ba yin she cabinet. And then we came back. In Professor Adeshola's characteristic way, she called me. And I described the way she does it. Nse, Dr. Odunaya, Papa wants a museum. Something dropped in my spirit. Nkoko waso komi, koko wasino komi. I think the Spirit of God is ministering to me. This museum, Agbodo Shio, we must set it up. And in my characteristic way, I said, it makes a whole lot of sense. So about 6 months ago, she started talking to people. As the time was getting closer, we had a departmental meeting. And after we spoke, she said, I'm going to discuss it at the departmental meeting. I said, go on. And we had a meeting. We usually have a meeting on the 3rd Friday of every month. And on that day, in the month of May, she told us, Papa is going to be 100 years old in July. He will be celebrated. It will be a good time to make the museum ready. And then we started deliberating. And I remember somebody said, God has been gracious to us. Papa is clocking 100. Do we want to do it after he has gone? We should do it. Let him say it. And then she said, Dr. Odunaya, you will coordinate that project. You have to coordinate it. And I said, yes, ma'am. At the meeting, right at the meeting, I told Dr. Olaleye, we have to work together. She couldn't resist my pull. It was very strong. And we started the work. First of all, I want to say that per Oshin Museum today, I will say, per Oshin Museum, the legacy that transcends generation, helped by God. We have been helped by God. So many times along the project time, we had to pray. I remember a night I called Dr. Laleye. We have to pray. Let's have an agreement. Thank God we work. We have the same Spirit of God. And we prayed. We told our husbands to fast and pray that this project must be executed. Because when we started, it appeared small to us. Is it not a museum? Then one of our alumni in diaspora, Dr. Famwide, he told Dr. Laleye, do you guys know what you people are planning? Have you called a curator? Have you done this? Have you done this? And then we started contacting people. I talked to a professor in history. I was given names of people. And we started working. Then we also had to call other experts, some people have told us. And then this gentleman came along with us. We call him Joba. He is the CEO of L Tecon Limited. And we told him what we had in mind. He came with a design. When we saw the design, we said, God is able. And we started. So we needed to look for funds. In a very short time, we called people. We had a meeting again. And she said, let's not go for everybody. Let's talk to people individually. And we started targeting people we know have supported us. Our alumni in diaspora, money started dropping. When you have a vision, and you have a will, and you have God, there's nothing you cannot do. And so because the committee set up had a vision, had a will, and we have God, we started the project. As we began the project, it was expanding. Because Professor Adeshola Odola said, "Ṣé nǹkan tó wà lọ́kàn mi?" He said, "Mo fẹ́ ká ní documentary bàbá in that museum. It should be archived in that museum." So we started thinking about how we'll run documentary. Remember, this was in May. We have 2 months. And then we started thinking about documentary, thinking about design of the museum, and everything had to work together. But the Spirit of God worked with us. And so we started making contact. Then there was a divine orchestration. The same energetic woman who facilitated the building, I spoke with her, and she said, let 3C Studio handle the documentary. And I want to say today, bless you, ma. Thank you, ma. And there are 3 young men in that studio whose energy I can't quantify, who work tirelessly. Chuka, if you're here, we want to see you. Sonjo, Sheung, they started action. And trust anybody that works with Professor Migodu, you must not deliver something small. It must be excellent. The pressure was high. And today, we have the documentary. We have the museum. Truly, our story is that of people helped by God. Madam HOD, bó ṣe wá sí yín lọ́kàn lolúwa ti ṣe. And I want to thank God. On many occasions, there were times we had to call the children. You must come to the studio for the documentary. You have to come. And one of those days, I cried because I heard stories about Pa Oshin. Baba, we honor you. I heard stories about you that we never heard that made me cry. The man who labored, who served humanity. You know, when he used to send things to us to keep and said it's going to be in the museum, initially I did not have understanding. But one day the Lord opened my understanding. Pardon me if I call the Lord oftentimes. That is the only God I know. He helps me all through the way. And so one day my understanding opened. And I came to realization that people who live to serve humanity, all that God gave them to serve humanity, they know they're not going away with those things. And so Papa knew that when he leaves, he has to leave those things with us so that we'll continue to run the race of life and help physiotherapy to be what physiotherapy should be. Today I stand here to thank all of you, all our principal officers, our Vice Chancellor, sir. We thank you, we honor you, sir, for gracing this occasion, and all our elders far and near. You have come to see what God has done for us in this department. And to crown it all, do you know that this is Oshin, the car park that was made for us? This car park has become an event center today. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ma, for the story of how we came about the museum. Before we continue, I want to acknowledge every member of staff of the Department of Physiotherapy, the academic staff, the non-academic staff. Thank you very much for your support to every single person in the department contributed towards the realization of this dream. And we want to really appreciate you. We pray that God will continue to bless you. We want to appreciate our non-teaching staff too for their support and for always being available every time. We want to recognize Mrs. Akinleye, our past secretary. She's here anytime we have events. She's an emeritus member of physiotherapy department, though she's in pediatrics now. Is she in, oh, she's in radiation oncology. So she's always here. Then Mama Olorode, when I saw her this morning, I said, Mama Etuwa, because Mama is retiree too. She's a retiree. But anytime we have events, she's always here. Thank you so much for coming in and for gracing this occasion. Bernie. Okay, so we are going to move on to the next item. Oh, okay, the other department had already taken. So, oh, the dean of my faculty is not here. Oh, sorry. So we are going to take the address of the dean of faculty of clinical sciences, Professor T.A. Lawal. He is being represented this morning by Professor Adebayo. I'm so sorry. You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you, the MC of the day. The chairperson of this great occasion, Mrs. Olapeju Uwuga, Mama Uwuga, as you are fondly called, permit me to stand on the protocol that have been established. But I would like to acknowledge my employers. And the first person is the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, Professor Adebowale, FAS, and all the University of Ibadan management that is here present. Next is the Provost of the College of Medicine, the President of Professor Timidayo Ogundiran, and all the college management here present. Then the University College of Spirit Ibadan, ably led by Professor Olaoye. She's the one representing the Chief Medical Director this morning. And it's important to also realize the fact that the 12th Provost is here, Professor Olayinka Omibojo. Ma, you're welcome. And the head of physiotherapy and all the entire staff, the family of Oshin, the emeriti professor here. I'll use Emeritus Professor Omokodeon as the example. Let me also remember to know that the family of the celebrant is here. I would like to acknowledge you and distinguished guests and the distinguished gentlemen. It's a great honor to represent the Dean of Clinical Sciences this morning, Professor Taiwo Lawal, who is currently on leave. I bring greetings from him, and I would like to welcome everyone to this great occasion of the commissioning of the Heritage Museum, just to mark the centenary birthday of Pa Thompson Abayomi Oshin. It's a great day because we are all alive to witness another year of this great grandpa and trailblazer. And I remember that 2 years ago we were all here to launch this beautiful edifice donated by his family. And last year we were here to equally unveil the bust and celebrate the 99th birthday of our illustrious grandfather. So for you to have been alive to witness today, which is a mark of another great milestone, can only be the work of grace. And on behalf of the entire staff of the Faculty of Clinical Sciences, I celebrate you. Happy centenary birthday. It's also a day one can tap into the grace of God in your life. Because what has seen you this far, Papa, can only be the grace of God. We can't but overemphasize that. The Heritage Museum that is being commissioned today is just an extension of the great living legacy. You started the foundation while you were still active in service. Until date, fostering academic excellence, for which the College of Medicine, the entire University of Ibadan is known for. The museum will not only serve as a vital historical hub, but also provide educational enrichment by tracing the evolution of physiotherapy, showcasing advancement in rehabilitation technology, and offering hands-on learning resources for generations of staff and students. It's obvious that the human nature is very frail, and we can't repay all the things that you have been doing. But the Faculty of Clinical Sciences can only pray that we continue to age gracefully and yet see the generations of your children in good health and peace. It's obvious that the longer you live, the more we continue to enjoy the goodness of the Lord through you, even to this great institution. So we'll continue to pray that you enjoy the fruits of your labor until you are called to glory. Once again, sir, happy centenary birthday, Papa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. As much as this is an official gathering, or maybe I don't know the right word to use, it's a ceremony. It's semi-formal, it's not formal. You know, when we're writing letter, there is semi-formal, there is formal, there is which one? There is informal. So it is semi-formal. And so we're going to have a brief musical interlude, and some other events will come in, and after that I will come up and then we'll take the goodwill messages. And so I want all the people that will be giving the goodwill messages to be on guard. Very soon I'll call on my own president of the ICOMA worldwide. But meanwhile, I would like the band, Oyinda Malata Wanko, to please take the stage.
wájú àṣàdánwò fẹ́ni táyọ̀ pè láàṣọ. Ọlọ́run o ọmọ balùwọ̀ sígbà kele ọmọ agbọ́rùn jagun ọmọ bàǹtà ọmọ abẹnú ìbọn yàyà mú. Bàbá ẹ̀yin náà máa pè ní ọba arọ́pò ṣẹbẹ̀. Ẹ máa gbọ́ mi ọba bẹ́ẹ̀bẹ́ẹ̀ tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọbẹ̀ ọba wàwàwà tó ti wà bẹ́ẹ̀ wà. Ọlọ́run ló dá yín sí olúwa olùgbìtàn tó mọ̀ dé ayé tó mọ̀ dé ọ̀run ìjì bàbá afẹ́fẹ́ tí ń sọjẹ́ tí ń ṣoru. Òyìnbó ìbí tó jẹ́ gbòǹgbòǹgbò. Olúwa mi ni bàbá bò bàbá ọba gidi bàbá bò bàbá bàbá àgbà. Òrùlé tó borí òkè àgbáyé tá ọba kání ọba jíni ọba wọni ọba ríni ọba mọ́ni ọba lẹ́ni ọba pẹ́ni ọba jẹ́ni ọba yọni ọba rọ́ni ọba gbọ́ni ọba fúnni ọba túni ọba dẹni ọba àwọn ọba o. Akọ́kọ́ tí gbọ́gbọ́ tó nílé ọgbọ́ bàbá mi òun lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ tí gbọ́gbọ́ tó fi rí nígbà yìí. Fún bó ṣe tó pètèpètè alábàṣọlá ọmọ ọlọ́lá gbére ìlú wọlé tí ń gbé pọ̀ mí bọ̀bọ̀. Onílé ṣáṣí ọba tó dé nílá paríparí ọba tó dàgbàdàgbà tó tayọ àkókò kàkà kó ọrùn kú ó wà fọlákùn wá sínú ìsinmi ọba tó ré kọjá ọrùn ọba bìkàlẹ̀ ṣe mọ́ ọmọ wa. Òun gẹ́gẹ́ ní òkìkí wọn láyà ọba àwàlàwà àdúró ti ní ṣe pé láyé ẹni olúmọ ọ̀gá tí ń gbé nígbà ọba àràgbélé ọba bí rẹ̀ ṣe kì í. Kábíyèsí ẹlẹ́dùn máa rẹ̀ o alálà funfun gbòòrò apẹ́pẹ́ ti pẹ́pẹ́ ọ̀pẹ̀pẹ̀ ti pẹ́pẹ́ bàbá ṣe 60 wọ́n ṣe 70 àwùjọ sísan wọ́n ṣe 80 àwòṣẹ́ lórí ìdúgbòlẹ̀ àìsàn wọ́n ṣe 90 wọ́n tún wọ́n ṣe 100 agbọ́pọ̀jọ́ ògbóró ọ̀rọ̀ awífúnni káwí ọ̀pọ̀rọ̀ sọ́wọ́lẹ́dẹ̀ àṣẹ̀nìbó ti fẹ́ àtúmọ̀jẹ̀kú ṣe apàṣẹ ìròyìn olúborí olórí àtàlókè àlòkè alẹ́lẹ́ búrúkúrú òtítì ìbúdù onítọ́síjọ́sí olóòní àtàná onítẹ̀tẹ̀ ìdẹ́rìn òtítọ́ pínlẹ̀ aláyé ayérayé alóòrùn ọ̀run ẹ̀fẹ̀ gbogbo ètùtù ajórúkọlẹ̀ rọ ọ̀rẹ́dẹ́gbẹ́ ọlá ọ̀fàlàlà ọ̀rọ̀ paríparí ọlá gbòmùgbòmù ọlá ọlọ́gbàgbọ́gbàgbù òmìnira ọ̀rọ̀ ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kíkó ọ̀yáyá fọmọdá ẹ̀kùnrin kápẹ̀bẹ̀ onífẹ̀tọ́ ọ̀gá olófìfú ọ̀run ló fẹ́rẹ̀ fẹ́fẹ́ ló fẹ́rẹ̀ jẹgẹ kùtìkùtù òró lálàbọ̀ fúnbọ̀ lónìí tayọ̀ jẹyọ ọ̀dájọ́ fún ìdá jẹ́gilẹ̀ fún èso ẹ̀fùrùfùrẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́gi lókèlókè pépélé fún ńlá onímọ̀sáyà lọ́dọ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ òyìnbí fọlájú òfìfí fọlájú ṣáájú olùpínlẹ̀mọ̀tò oníkàfẹ́yàrí apẹ̀pẹ̀lọ́wọ́ òkú oníṣẹ́ ìkísà aṣẹ́kùrú ọ̀tá akánábọ̀ ní oṣó ajáṣẹ́dẹ̀pẹ̀ olóògùn ládé olóògùn ọ̀gọ̀tọ̀ ánìlọ́dúnrọ́lọ́ alamọ̀lẹ́dúnrún lẹ́kúnlẹ́kú ayé ọ̀yẹ̀kú ìjẹ̀kú ajípatọ́ òkúdà àwọwọ́lùwọ́lọ́ àyàpàjáyà yọ̀bà àwọ̀ ọmọlẹ́rùnkú ayẹ̀kúndé oṣù kábúyàmúyàmú onílẹ̀kọ̀ṣọ̀wọ́ ẹ̀dùtì àpáta ọba tó kú fún ẹtù ẹ̀ bàbá mi ni wọ́n ní kí wọ́n á tún rí ẹ máa kọ́ lọ́dún máa rẹ̀ ooo. Ọba bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó ti bẹ̀ bí abẹ́ ọba wàwàwà tó ti wà bí ọ̀rọ̀ olúwo olùkùnkàn tó wà bí ayé tó wà bí ọ̀run ìjì bàbá pẹ́pẹ́ tí ń ṣọlẹ́ tí ń ṣolú òní tí ìjì tó jẹ́ gbòòkò. Akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ti rí pátákó ilé ọjọ́ akọ̀kọ̀ tó rí pàpà tó fi nínú báyìí kíkọ́ máa lọ torí àkókò tó bá ní kí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ kù bá rè ìbárọ̀ lálẹ́ torí ìbátan sí àbáyọ̀dọ̀ sí dúró bá tù. Ẹ bá kú bàbá o, ẹ bá kí bàbá. Ẹ bá kí bàbá o, ẹ bá kí bàbá. Bàbá ẹ bá kí bàbá. Ẹ bá kí bàbá o, ẹ bá kí bàbá. Bàbá
Hello, testing microphone. Okay, now before we continue with the musical interlude, during the course of this project, we visited Oshin's house several times. And I remember sometimes when you're there, I would say, okay, Baba, I almost okay. Baba ni láti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ní ìyẹn tó wà ní fọ́tò yẹn ní fọ́tò kí náà sọ. Before Baba takes any decision, he will always want to defer to his first son. And he's here this morning, this afternoon, representing the entire Oshin family. We're waiting for this time because we are waiting for the music before we talk about him. Here, he was the one who most of the time will liaise with, or he is the one who liaise with, is I think the chairman of the foundation. There is a foundation, yes, for the Oshin family. We want to recognize, and I want you all to join us to recognize Otunba Dr. Olusegun Oshin. He is here present. He is the one that's Baba's right hand person. Anything Baba will say, Baba will want to hear what he has said before he knows what he will tell us. Up to the date, about what is happening? No. They just buy no one available. And so we want you to join us to appreciate and thank Otunba Dr. Olusegun Oshin for his support for this building. After the action of the 12 and the first female provost of the College of Medicine, Professor Omigbodu, worked together for us to have this building. It's courtesy of the family, and he's here this morning representing all the children and the family. We want to say we appreciate you. We thank you so much for your constant and continued support to the profession. And so we move on now. In the interest of time, because we're still going to unveil the documentary and still visit the museum, we'll move on to the next item on the program, and that is the goodwill messages. I'm going to start with the president of Ibadan College of Medicine Alumni Association Worldwide, Emeritus Professor S.I. Omokodion. That's the to give his goodwill. You can stay there. I can bring the mic, sir. He's young. He's a retiree. He's over 70.
When you have already treated us to the fact that someone who is approaching 90 flew up 3 flights of stairs, if I do anything less than that, I don't want to be that kind of client to you just yet. And I have also got the assurance that the protocol already laid is strong enough for us all to stand on. So I wouldn't go in that direction, especially since I have been told that brevity is of the essence. So I will keep to that. However, the chairperson, she's up for a moment. And our chief host, the Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Chief Medical Director and Provost, I will need to crave your indulgence to stand on that protocol. And I know you've granted it. And of course, our chief celebrant. If there was something more than par to qualify the caliber of persons we're talking about today, I would have preferred to use that, but my research has not quite unveiled such a term yet. So I'll go on par. Distinguished guests, esteemed faculty, cherished colleagues, and members of the Department of Physiotherapy, it is an honor to join you for the commissioning of the Dr. Thompson Abayomi Oshin Heritage Museum. Today, we celebrate Dr. Oshin's foundational role in establishing physiotherapy education and practice in Nigeria and across Africa. And we honor the legacy this museum will preserve. As we have gathered for this commissioning, it is fitting to reflect on the profession's progress. Physiotherapy has overcome formidable challenges to become an essential part of healthcare in Nigeria and an influence across Africa and beyond. That progress rests on the foundation laid by pioneers such as Dr. Oshin. I mean, Oshin, since there's a Dr. Oshin here, I'm referring to the PA. It will be remiss of me not to honor Dr. Thompson Abayomi Oshin, a towering pioneer and living legend whose influence continues to shape the profession. As the first physiotherapy in Nigeria, indeed, one of the first in Africa. He pioneered both the practice and teaching of physiotherapy here, guiding its early development with wisdom and unwavering commitment. A lot has been said already, that Dr. Thompson Abayomi Oshin will mark the extraordinary milestone of his 100th birthday. His century of life has been devoted to serving humanity, advancing knowledge, and strengthening the healing profession to which we belong. We salute you, sir, Dr. Oshin, and thank you for the example and legacy you have given us. The building that now houses the department was funded entirely by the Dr. Oshin family in his honor. Housing the museum here, therefore, unites the family's tribute, the department's history, and Dr. Oshin's enduring legacy in one place. For over half a century, the Department of Physiotherapy at the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, has advanced physiotherapy through teaching, scholarship, innovation, and leadership development. Its graduates have made enduring contributions to patients, communities, and the profession worldwide. From Lagos to London, from Ibadan to Istanbul, from Abuja to Adelaide, Ibadan-trained physiotherapists are leading practices and departments, shaping policy and conducting vital research. They are helping people recover from injury, regain independence, and benefit from new frontiers in the science and art of rehabilitation. On behalf of ICOMA Worldwide, I offer heartfelt congratulations to the Department of Physiotherapy on the commissioning of this museum, a fitting and well-deserved tribute to Dr. Oshin's foundational contribution to physiotherapy in Africa and the world. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I'd like to call on the immediate past provost of the College of Medicine, our own Professor Olayinka Omibodun, for her goodwill message.
This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I lean on existing protocols. I acknowledge our chief host, Professor Kayode Adebowale, MNI, FAS. Thank you, sir, for your leadership of the University of Ibadan. I also acknowledge our chair, acknowledge all my teachers here, the chief medical director, the head of department. But I must start this also short goodwill message by acknowledging our celebrant, Daddy. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a blessing to your generation. And I acknowledge your children, Brother Shegun, Sister Toyin, Sister Eniton, and my classmate from primary school, Wale. I believe they are on their way. I know there's been a hold-up on the expressway. It's in the news that there were multiple accidents overnight, and I understand it's been a real miracle that you were able to make it through. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for the grace to be here and stand in this building. And I'm going to share 5 things, lessons that I have learned from this edifice, it came to pass and the heritage. And I believe that these lessons that I have learned will be helpful for everyone here. The first thing is that the steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord. Pa Oshin has lived a life of righteousness, justice, integrity. And that is why the Lord has rewarded him. Even in his old age, I believe there were many things he had thought would never come to pass. But because he had lived a life of service, of selflessness to the glory of God, even in his twilight years, he's been honored over and over. Yes, Psalm 37:23 says, the steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord. The second lesson that I learned is that make friends and keep relationships open in your life's journey. Make friends, keep resentment, bitterness away. Live and have an open heart. As much as lies within you, live peaceably with all men. And that is Romans 12:18. You know, the way in which this building came to pass was I had an open relationship with my classmate from primary school and ISI. Wale is the last born of Pa Oshin. When I was provost and we realized that this land had been allocated to physiotherapy, I was able to call him because there was an open heaven. And I called him and I said, come and see this place. We stood there and he came from Lagos. And I showed him, I said, this is Oshitokun Auditorium. This is Akonde building. This is over there, Emeritus Professor Akikugbe building. I said, Baba needs a building in his name. You know, Africa's first physiotherapist. And we stood here. And we looked round and he said, I will go and come back. Of course, you know, big bro, nothing happens without big bro's permission. So he went, he conferred with his siblings and they agreed. And that was when we contacted our very distinguished Vice Chancellor and he arranged for us to meet with him. Make sure as you're going through life, as much as lies within you, leave bitterness, resentment away. Have an open heart. You never know who you're going to need. I never knew I would need Wale. I never knew. But that is the lesson that I learned. And every day I ask the Lord to help me have no malice, no resentment, an open heart. And the Lord God Almighty, who sees, will adequately reward you. The third lesson that I have learned is that everything you do excellence. Excellence. Pa Oshin, your life is a life of excellence. You have carved pathways that other people have been able to come through. You have opened doors that other people are flooding through. You are a pioneer, not only in Africa, but the entire world. Yes. In building up physiotherapy. And it says, you know, the word of God says, seest thou a man diligent in his ways? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before mere men. Excellence. You radiate excellence. I also want to be excellent and I strive. But one of the things that helps me to project a feel of excellence is I surround myself with excellent people. You know, many times people feel intimidated when they have excellent people around them. But it really helps. We were able to deliver on the Center for Child and Adolescent Mental Health, of which I am pioneer director. We have several innovative projects, including a studio, so that we can generate income, entrepreneurship right within the university. But then we have excellent people. If you surround yourself with excellent people, people will seek you out. Thank you so much for seeking us out. That's the third lesson. And then the fourth lesson is from Psalm 112, verse 2. It says, blessed is the man who fears the Lord. His children will be mighty on the earth. If you fear God and do his will, your children, Baba's children are there. I could say that they gathered funds to put this edifice together. His children are mighty on the earth. And finally, I must say that I suspect that at some point maybe Baba had thought, well, I've done my own, I'm going. But something interesting happened. At the age of 96, a foundation was laid for a building. At the age of 98, the building was commissioned. And here we are at the age of 100. You're a heritage park, a heritage museum, which you had always desired. All your innovations from across centuries are going to be displayed there for generations. Sometimes we give up on things that are supposed to have happened to us. The fifth lesson is that never give up. When you have something before you, when the Lord has spoken to you, as says in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come to pass. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ma, for that powerful message. I think the 5 lessons are something we all should take home. Something that we should take home. While the goodwill messages were going on, or maybe while the last one was going on, Papa's daughter walked into the hall with, I think with her husband, or she came alone. Oh, she came alone. So we want to welcome you, Ma, to this occasion. Thank you for coming. In spite of that, Mrs. Barrister Tony Shomide, you are most welcome, Ma. That's to confirm the word of our provost that see a good man, his children are great on earth, they are mighty on earth. So they are mighty for. Okay, so I'll call on the CMD UCH able represented by Professor Olushola, right? Yes, Olushola Olawuye, to give the goodwill of the CMD of the UCH. She's a member of the Council of UI. Yeah, that's another thing. Yes, she's my employer, so I need to be careful if I don't want to lose my job.
Thank you so much. The chairman of today, Mrs. Woga, the chief host of this occasion, Professor K.O. Adebowale, MNIFAS, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, the Provost of the College of Medicine, the ICOBA President, Professor S.I. Omokodian, Emeritus Professor S.I. Omokodian, and the 12th Provost of the College of Medicine, Professor Olayinka Omibodun, and our dear Papa, Dr. T. Abayomi Oshin. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great joy and profound sense of history that I convey this goodwill message on behalf of the Chief Medical Director of the University College Hospital, Ibadan, Professor Tessie Abodu Sunday Otegbayo. On this auspicious occasion of the commissioning of the Pa Thompson Abayomi Oshin Centenary Museum in commemoration of his 100th birthday. Wow! Today, as we commemorate 100 years of life and legacy of Pa Thompson Abayomi Oshin, we do more than remember an extraordinary man. We celebrate an icon, a trailblazer, a custodian of enduring values, whose impact transcends his generation. This museum stands as a living monument to his vision, integrity, selfless service, and immense contribution to his community and the nation at large. A museum is more than a building. It houses artifacts. It is a repository of history, a classroom for future generations, and a source of inspiration for all who pass through its doors. through this centenary museum, the ideals that Thompson Abayomi lived by, hard work, philanthropy, community development, and exemplary leadership will continue to inspire generations long after we are gone. We have started to tell the story of physiotherapy by having this museum. So we begin to tell the story of physiotherapy where it all started in Africa, here at Ibadan, here in Nigeria, and of course, the rest of Africa. And therefore I commend his family, the planning committee, and all stakeholders whose dedication and commitment made this remarkable vision a reality. Permit me to specially thank the head of Department of Physiotherapy, my own dear friend. Thank you for what you are doing here. Thank you for what you have done. Thank you for bringing this to reality. As we commission this museum today, may it continue to serve as a beacon of heritage, knowledge, pride, inspiring all who visit to emulate the virtues and values exemplified by Thompson Abayomi Oshin. Congratulations to the Abayomi Oshin family on this historic achievement. It is historic because it tells the story and it writes it down. History not written down is history likely to be forgotten. So thank you for writing this history. Thank you for this remarkable legacy. Thank you for what you are doing. Thank you for what you have done. May the legacy of our father, Dr. Thompson Abayomi Oshin, continue to endure for generations to come. I have given this on behalf of the Chief Medical Director of the University College Hospital, Professor J.C. Abiodun Otegbaye, who sends his warm greetings and would have loved to be here, but is unable to. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Me, Nisha, and you. I don't have another job yet, and I'm not ready to jackpot now. So I need to behave myself. Now, the next person who is going to give a goodwill message is a living legend. And actually, I met her as a young lecturer in the department. I remember there was this common room on top of blood bank. So that time we were having one, I think, dinner with regards to ISPN. And I was looking at her with a lot of admiration that this mama, they said this mama will retire soon. Look at how she was standing, she was addressing her. In fact, she was dancing when it was music time. And now it's my pleasure to really see her this morning. Please welcome with me Professor Olaitan Shoyonwon. That's the mama of the Pain Society.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Please allow me to stand on that very sturdy protocol, existing protocol. But I cannot go on without acknowledging the presence of the chairman of this occasion, my own auntie, Beju. Also, my brother, the Vice Chancellor of the best university in the world, up UI, Professor Adeboale, and of course, our dear Papa, Abanya Tubokalesa. I was wondering why this dynamic HOD of physiotherapy called me to say that I must be at this ceremony. You can see that all those who have spoken, they have some relationship or the other with the top notch of the academic circle and this place. And I thought, and then last night I got a message from Dr. Dunaya saying that you are going to give a 3-minute message, goodwill message. I say, oh my God. I thought I was just coming to observe. So I then started thinking, what am I going to talk about? And the only thing I can think of is to try and go down the memory lane. Part of Papa's this giant number of years. They called me a legend. Legend where? Where 100 years old is. Papa is about 20 years older than me. And when I came into this establishment as a young medical student, that's where I'm going to start. Because when the legal luminary came in, I saw Mama. So that's where I'm going to start. When we came in from UI, that was in 68, to the clinical side, we had a lot of teachers, not just on the medical side. And we learned something, that as medical students, we are going to be taught by everybody connected with medicine. And in those days, we girls, when we gather, we know what we talk about. There are some teachers that we size up. And we know those, in those days, if they were having pageantry for men, we know those who will qualify to be Mr. Nigeria. And I must say that I will not be proved wrong if you look through all the pictures of Papa on this ceremony. Will you agree with me? Even today, we thank God. So there are some people that when God created them, they are made to look perfect and also to live perfectly till the end. And that will be your portion, Papa. You will enjoy good life, quality life, till the end of your days. And of course, when we then went to the clinical side, we also met Mama. And we said, well, this has chosen right. Thank you very much for showing us that beauty and brains, they go together and they can go as long as 100 years. We thank God for your life, sir. Then the second thing that I want to talk about is that Papa is one of those teachers that taught us about teamwork. When the HOD was talking, she mentioned multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary. So when we were young medical students and young doctors, when we rotated through orthopedic surgery, I can never forget. We watched Papa and the orthopedic surgeons working very closely together. In those days, there were no MRIs and hardly few. The X-rays you have, you virtually go into the dark room. The radiographers will go into the dark room and all that. But we will have patients. I remember the patients with tuberculosis of the spine. And because of that TB, they will come in, they are almost crumbled. And the surgeon and the physiotherapist will be taking measurements. Because before the surgeon can cut and straighten that spine, everybody must contribute. And then when the surgeons finish, they will make this bulky brace, like casket, which the patient is going to be wearing for some time. I'm looking forward to seeing that museum. I'm sure some of these things must be there. So, and they'll be so painstaking. So as younger students, we used to be amazed. I remember Mr. Imade, Mr. Lawson in those days, and we really learned a lot from them. Then the other thing on the professional side is that all these physiotherapists that Papa brought up, I got to know that we can work together. And I remember when I was dean, that was when we had the first sub-dean from physiotherapy. And after that, we also established the Society for the Study of Pain. And today, the number of physiotherapists in that society, they're almost more than the number of doctors talking about pain. In fact, the 20-what conference, because it was established in 1998, and it became a chapter of the international body. The annual society is going on in Ilorin, and the chairman of the LOC is a physiotherapist. So it shows you how well, from that experience that we had when we were young, how much we have built on that, and we're continuing that legacy today. Thank you very much, sir. Because we know that health is not just for one profession, and that is what is going on. Thank you very much. And then, because they told me, is it 2 minutes? On a personal note, I also want to talk about Papa's compassionate care for patients, compassionate care for relatives of patients, his humility, and also his adherence to the ethics of the profession. I had a personal experience. As a young house officer, I had my first child, and unfortunately there was accident of birth. He's still alive. He's in his 50s. At that time he had cerebral palsy, and he needed a lot of physiotherapy. Papa, thank you very much. In the league of Papa and those working with him in the days of the Ajaos, the Obiris, I literally lived in the physiotherapy clinic, and they were all there for me because I was a young girl and a young man, my husband, and we were facing the challenges of looking after this child. And they did everything possible under physiotherapy, making braces, making all sorts of things to help us try and make him be able to walk. So this is the man we're celebrating today. Not just academics, but also humanitarian legacies. We celebrate you, sir. We're very proud of you, and we pray that your children and your children's children will see the goodness of the Lord. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, ma. You see, that's from the archive. Some of us don't even know that story. Well, then that's what we keep saying. When you touch people, it always resonates down the ages. And Baba, thank you for representing us well all through the years. Before I call on Emeritus Professor, it's no more online. We're supposed to take the goodwill message from Emeritus Professor Oluwole Akonde. We're trying to zero in on him, but I learned he's offline now, probably connectivity issue. But before we move on, the next person, our provost is now on seat. I'm sure it's being represented by the Dean of Basic Medical. But meanwhile, before the Dean of Basic Medical Sciences comes on, I want to recognize online the Deputy Provost, College of Medicine, University of Lagos, our own Professor Femi Odebi. You're welcome and highly recognized. I want to recognize Professor Peter Ibikunle, who is also online. I want to recognize, I'm not representing anybody. I am representing myself. Okay, so I recognize, I Adeyinka Olubajo. Some of these names are names we are calling from, we are copying from the name of the device being used. So please, if I don't use your designation or your title, pardon me. It's because it was not included in your name on the device. So I recognize Adeyinka Olubajo, Ayo Ajayi, Morenike Olonfemi. I recognize Obed Azubike. I want to recognize Olubukola Itwen. That's my classmates. So you are there. I recognize you. So right now I'd like to call on the provost, Professor Tiho Ogundiran, ably represented by the Dean of the Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences, Professor Oyerunke Oduola. Is it Oduola? I am sorry, ma'am. I apologize, ma'am.
Thank you very much, my sister. The chairperson of today's occasion. Good afternoon again, ma. The Vice Chancellor, my Vice Chancellor of our great university, the first and the best. I recognize all members of the university management, the management of the University College Hospital, and the management of our College of Medicine. The provost has to step out to attend to a very urgent official assignment. So the message is from the provost, while the voice is that of Oyerunke Oduola. It gives me great pleasure to welcome everyone to this historic occasion, the commissioning of Pa Thompson Abayomi Oshin Heritage Museum. This is an enduring testament to a man who lived, whose life has profoundly shaped the history of physiotherapy in Nigeria and, of course, Africa. Today we celebrate not only a remarkable centenary, but an extraordinary legacy. Papa Oshin is the first Nigerian physiotherapist and the pioneer head of the Department of Physiotherapy of our College of Medicine. Through his vision, dedication, and experience vision, he laid the foundation upon which the profession has flourished across Nigeria. What makes today's event even more special is that the museum honors a living legend, and we are glad about this. The story of a pioneer whose life continues to inspire generations of health care professionals. Future students who walk through these halls will not simply read about history, but they will encounter it and be challenged to pursue excellence with the same passion and commitment. Our College of Medicine is particularly grateful to you, Baba, for this remarkable generosity in donating a building to the Department of Physiotherapy. This building will very soon house the Faculty of Physiotherapy. This gift is far more than bricks and mortar. It is an investment in education, scholarships, and preservation of our institutional heritage. We deeply appreciate this thoughtful gesture and the enduring partnership it represents. I wish to commend the Department of Physiotherapy under the leadership of the amiable Professor Adeshola Udole and the planning committee. By preserving our history, we strengthen our future. Thank you very much. So our dear Pa Oshin, On behalf of the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, I express our profound gratitude for your pioneering leadership, distinguished service, sir, and your unwavering commitment to humanity. Your legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. We congratulate you on your centenary birthday. Ìgbà ọdún sà, ọdún kan ni. Tàbá tí ń pè yín, ẹ máa jẹ́ wa. Congratulations to the Department of Physiotherapy.
Thank you so much, Ma, for the very beautiful and inspiring. Now we are going to have a snippet of the documentary. The documentary will definitely be domiciled at the museum, so you can come in. But be sure you're not coming in free. It's not going to be FOC. So watch whatever you are watching today, FOC. Next time, it's a museum. You can't enter museum free of charge. So you will watch the full documentary at the museum, and so we want to just show a snippet of it so that we all can know what is in it. So, ITU, please, you have the floor now.
Progress is the hospital of the University College of Ibadan, where great advances are being made against keeping sickness.
There are men who choose a career, and there are men who build one from nothing because no one has built it yet. This is the story of one of them.
Oh, Tommy, you are done with the meeting? Good, that's good, that's good. So, how was it? They approved it. Oh, that's pleasant. So, at least now we'll be able to spread our wings and operate, as a full-fledged department and do all that we need to do.
Every profession starts somewhere. Nigeria's physiotherapy profession starts here in an ordinary home, long before it ever starts in a hospital.
name is Abayomi Oshin. People have been asking, why Thompson? It's a foreign name. I should always tell them that my parents told me that the Governor General in Nigeria at the time I was born in 1926 was Thompson. So they decided that he was given the name Thompson during baptism. I was born July 30, as I said, 1926 in Sabongeri, Kano. There I grew up.
My father loved his parents very much. I grew up seeing him interact with his parents and showing them love and a certain level of seriousness. He paid a lot of attention to detail when it came to that and made sure that whatever they needed, they got. He also helped to integrate his younger siblings, in terms of career pathways, encouraging them to do what they want to do, and trying to be the leader that he is in the family. Somewhere in that same becoming, a different kind of discipline was also taking root. In uniform, in troop meetings, and the promise every scout makes.
I was a member of the Boy Scout, as I said, and I grew up from Tenderfoot Scout, second class Scout, first class Scout, Prince Scout, and I became Commissioner of Scout in Lagos at that time. And I went on and on and on and on.
With me is the Scout Promise and the Scout Law, which we learn in English and also have it translated in Yoruba. Single-handedly, without any prompts, he produced this for the Scouts State Park Council, which we give out to people over the traveling copies. Then at the Scout headquarters, he also donated 2 flag poles. The flag pole for the Nigerian flag and the second pole for the Oyo State Scout flag. These are things that have been there for years now, and they kept on renewing and repenting them.
By the time he was old enough to choose his own path, Nigeria itself was choosing new paths. He would choose one that at the time barely had a name. In the years Oshin came of age, physiotherapy was not a career most Nigerians had ever heard of, let alone considered for themselves. Choosing it took either courage or conviction. Everything that follows suggests he had both.
When it got to 1941, and beyond that, there was a pen pal in his sport in London, in Coventry.
He met a lady called Mrs. Powell, who later became his mentor, and she convinced him to do physiotherapy. And he came down to Nigeria to work with the expatriates that were in the physiotherapy department in UCH at the time. He came back in 1954 to Nigeria. And the interesting thing is, when those expatriates left, he took over as head of department of physiotherapy, which is why they say it's the first Nigerian head of department. But in terms of qualification, he's actually the first African trained physiotherapist.
He started the physiotherapy program in the UCH and the Faculty College of Medicine. At that time, the physiotherapy program was in the Department of Surgery. It was subsumed in the Department of Surgery. And Papa Oshin was the one who actually founded the faculty program, the physiotherapy program, and nurtured it to its present position, enviable position. Papa Oshin should be regarded
great, not only a father of physiotherapy, but a grandfather, and maybe even great grandfather of physiotherapy in Africa, not only in Nigeria, but in the whole of Africa. First physiotherapist, and we really are very proud of him. Posture. Stand straight. Good. With chest out. Good. That's how to maintain a good posture. Yes. Yes. Okay. What type of posture is kyphosis? As I referred to myself, it's a abnormal posture. Yes, it's an abnormal posture in the first instance. We talk about good posture, we talk about faulty posture, we talk about abnormal posture. Is that okay? Yes, sir. So, we are not sure what physiotherapy is. And when we came, we knew of course, it was the one telling us you can go far. He was our teacher. And I want to say that he was the committed, hard-working lecturer. He taught us very well. And it was later that we realized that he was the main lecturer. Others were associate lecturers. But he was so well taught that by, I think, 1981 or 82, the Health and Care Professions Council of the UK gave UI graduates automatic license. They will automatically approve when you indicate that you want to be registered. They will automatically register you.
Let me say none of the last two chapters happened in isolation. Behind the department and behind the classroom, there was a household and a marriage holding all of it together.
Well, I got married in London on September 25 at this church, special church in London, Christ Church, Highbury. That was where I got married. I met my wife in London in 1952. She was with Mrs. Adesanya, who was then her teacher in Nigeria for many years. I used to enjoy their company as couple. It's worth emulating. The relationship worth emulating. It was very faithful, very straightforward, very sunny, but approachable. And honestly, I enjoyed them as couple. That was the medical school.
Thank you very much. That's to whet your appetites. You will go and watch. You will come and watch the other chapters. Now, the VC has some other commitments. It's just that he's a lover of physiotherapy. That is why he's here now. So we'd like to wrap up and go for the tour of the museum. He wants to give his address. Thank you so much, sir. I was just going to wrap it. You're welcome, sir.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in company of the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, when we walked in here and I saw Grandpa Oshin seated here, I immediately made up my mind that I will stay to the end of this program. Even though I didn't know that it was going to be as long as this. There have been 2 meetings that I'm holding on right now at the university. But since it was intentional for me to stay till the end, I didn't have any choice. If it were to be speech alone, so many speeches have been delivered. I even listened to an exhortation that is like an exhortation in the church with scriptures and the appropriate Bible verses. We have watched, we have seen. But I had the opportunity also, I'm sure that what was made, I also had the opportunity to say some few words, from the documentary. I'm sure we will also be able to see it another time. Principal officers of our university, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, academic, the chairman of this occasion, Mama Gladys. I can only pick Gladys there. It's a privilege. My senior sister, I'm sure you are. I greet you very warmly. The provost of our College of Medicine, the dean of the Faculty of Clinical Sciences, all the heads of departments, the College of Medicine, members of the college, including our faculty as well as the non-academic staff, our grandpa Oshin, the one that we are honoring today. You see, I didn't have the privilege to witness the commissioning of this building. I was represented. That's another reason why I needed to stay to the end of the program, because I must witness, the unveiling of that centenary museum. Esteemed members of the Oshin family, particularly the right-hand person, Dr. Oshin, and the other members, the president of the ICOMA, Ibadan College of Medicine Alumni Association worldwide, and he knows that I will say in heaven and on earth. Both in heaven, there is none in hell. They are in heaven and on earth. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a privilege again for me to be here, and it gives me a pride and historical significance to stand here as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, at least to witness the opening of Dr. Grandpa T. Abayomi Oshin Heritage Museum, which is to mark the centenary anniversary of our grandpa. I want to welcome you, even though I am giving this speech, the last to give this speech. I welcome you again to the College of Medicine. I welcome you to the University of Ibadan, the heart of our medical education and healthcare training in Nigeria. Our great university, the premier university, has always been a place where giants are made and where legacies are forged. Today, we are gathered to celebrate and immortalize one of such giants, a man whose vision and dedication laid the very foundation of physiotherapy education and practice, not only in our country, Nigeria, but also in the African continent. We are here to honor Grandpa Thompson Abayomi Oshin, the doyen of physiotherapy in Africa. I'm sure that as we cut the ribbon of this museum, we are not merely opening a building, we are opening a window into history of a profession and a story of a man who dared to break boundaries, dared to be a Daniel, dared to stay alone. I'm sure that during his time, I read that so many of his friends were into medicine, but he decided that he was going to be a physiotherapist. Thank you, Papa. Dr. Oshin is a name that is synonymous with pioneering excellence that has been said by so many. In 1954, he made history by becoming the first African physiotherapist to qualify in London. At a time when the field was dominated by expatriates, he ventured forth and returned to his homeland to build a profession from ground up, from bottom up. This museum will stand as a testament of his incredible journey and numerous firsts. He was not only the first African physiotherapist, but he was also the first head and consultant physiotherapist at College of Medicine and the University College Hospital. He was a visionary who in 1966 pioneered and established Nigeria's first BSc physiotherapy program here at the University of Ibadan. The footprints of his legacy are everywhere in our institutions and beyond. It is on his shoulders that our distinguished Department of Physiotherapy stands. Today, the department is a flagship of physiotherapy training in Africa, producing graduates who lead departments in universities across Nigeria and the globe, and who have served as registrars of the Medical Rehabilitation Therapists Board of Nigeria. Dr. Oshin's contribution was not just clinical and academic, they are deeply historical. He loved this profession and understood the importance of preserving history. In his later years, he dedicated himself to ensuring that the story of physiotherapy in Nigeria and Africa will not be forgotten. And I'm sure that this museum is a culmination of that dedication. It is also important to note that the creation of this museum and the commissioning that will follow are fruits of the labor and generosity of the entire Oshin family. The Thompson Abayomi Oshin Health and Education Foundation, led by his children, has ensured that their father's legacy and passion for preserving history are permanently housed here. This act of philanthropy is a strong example of how families can contribute to public good and shape the future by honoring the past. Through the artifacts, documents, photographs, which I know will be housed there, we will learn about the development of physiotherapy, the history of our University College Hospital, and the remarkable life of a man who chose to be different, who chose to be first, and who chose to serve. As we will now go ahead to open the museum, I want us to remember the lessons of Professor Oshin's life. He was a man of deliberate choices, a quality I often stress even to our students. He chose the path less traveled and achieved genuine success. He embodied the resilience that we speak about the University of Ibadan, overcoming challenges of his era to build a profession for future generations that is yet to come. This museum, I believe, is a call to action for all of us, because it reminds our current students and future practitioners of the rich history that they are part of, and it challenges them to uphold the standards of excellence and character that Dr. Oshin and the University of Ibadan stands for. On behalf of the entire university, on behalf of Senate, on behalf of Council, on behalf of staff and students of the University of Ibadan, I express our deep gratitude to the Oshin family for this magnificent gift. We are proud to be the custodians of this legacy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, sir. Now we will be going to the museum. Not everybody can go in at once because the police cannot take all of us at once. So the Oshin and his family, then the principal officers of the university will be going to the museum first. Then other people, and the members of the I table, the chairman of the occasion and everything, will be going to the museum first. So we don't want people to crowd the place. Please kindly wait behind so that we go in batches. There will still be opportunity to go there. Oshin will be going this way. And we don't mind, if you don't mind following the ramp, you can accompany him through the ramp. There is the stair in the building. Then he is going to take the ramp so that it will be easy for him to get to the museum. So while we're getting ourselves ready for that, I'll call on Dr. Fabomi to quickly give the votes of thanks, because after now, it is just the visit to the museum that we have. Thank you, Dr. Fabomi.
Thank you very much. Bearing in mind with the list that I have with me, that we should cut this as short as possible. But I would like to appreciate the chairperson of this occasion, in person of Mama Olakpeju Gladys Unga. Thank you very much. We appreciate you, ma'am. We also want to appreciate the Vice Chancellor of this great university, Professor K.O. Adebowale, FAS MNI. We also want to appreciate the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, in person of Professor J.T. Arotiba. Also, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Simisola O. Akintola. We are grateful indeed for coming to add color to this occasion. We also want to appreciate the registrar, in person of Mr. G.O. Salim, the bossa, Mr. A. Popola, the university librarian, and then Provost, College of Medicine, Professor T.O. Ogudiran. And then we also want to acknowledge the Chief Medical Director, University College Hospital, who was represented, or who is represented here by Professor Olawuye. Thank you very much, ma'am. Then the Deputy Provost, Professor S.B. Olaleye, the Secretary to the College, Mr. A.E. Odedele, the Financial Controller, S. Ayoshino, the Medical Librarian, Dr. Grace A. Ajuwon, and then the Dean of the Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences, Professor Yeronke A. Oduola. We also want to appreciate all our deans that are present here today. In addition, we also appreciate the President, ICOMA Worldwide, Professor S.I. So I'll take that again. Emeritus Professor S.I. Omokodium. Thank you very much, sir. And I think the immediate past provost also stepped out. We acknowledge her for being here today. There are also many people to be appreciated. All the head of departments of our supporting departments like anatomy, biochemistry, and nutrition and physiology. We acknowledge you and we appreciate your great effort in contributing to the success of this program. Then we also appreciate all our professional colleagues, particularly under NSP and ACAPEN and the membership. We also appreciate the head of department physiotherapy, that's from University College Hospital, in person of Dr. Raymond Olaseinde. Then I want to appreciate two people here. I would not have been able to finish this assignment because they're actually formerly in the Department of Physiotherapy, and they are retired and they are here today. I want to appreciate Professor Aderonke O. Akipelu. Thank you very much, ma'am. In addition, I would like to appreciate Professor B.O.A. Adekoke. Thank you very much, sir. I wish every one of us safe journey as we go back. The presence of God will be with us. And I say this word of prayer, you will be celebrated as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you very much. It's time to visit the museum. So, Grandpa, Brian, yeah, we go. Some people can go through the stairs. Principal officer can the high table. Please, other guests, remain seated. The music will be ongoing.
Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh. I think yes. Okay. Well done. Done. So let's just these are some of the pictures. So tell me students. So many things, dispense as external examiner from Canada. So many information.
Maybe you are the one that provided it.
Yes. He has done 65 when he graduated Canada 1969. That transcends generations yet unborn. Where they come here, they will learn. There's so much to learn even from documents. They 2 hours. Oh, that is I yes, yes, Papa. Yes. This is
and they got shot with more. Oh, I mean it.
How do we take the picture?
Oh, you're going to be at the middle of all of us, and then we
The chairperson.
No. Check over.
You have a wide angle camera. Can you take everybody? No. All right, let's take it.
We'll take it in batches. What about the pole? They put on the chair. How about the chair? Yes, that's what we should do. I said you should remove it. See my dean. Oh, dean.
So, I get the notification. Fantastic.
Can I?
Very well.
Why do you always say bye-bye? Ìgbìmọ̀ ẹ̀tọ́ manufacture yẹ ẹ̀ kò lè ní ìyàjú ó ṣe tuntun síbẹ̀ ó yẹ ká ya fọ́tò bàbá gan fọ́tò mọ́tò bàbá ká fi sí that crown ó yẹ ká ya fọ́tò ẹ̀ it should be part of this museum.
No, the picture should be.
That's what she did.
Òdo ní tó fún wọn.
Wọ́n ní ọjọ́ ìyàpọ̀ ní ìdí àwọn fáyọ̀ àti
ẹgbẹ́ mú wọn wá dẹ̀ láti wá máa dúró láti ṣé ọba ti gbé kiri lọ sókè ni.
Ìgbà tí kì í jẹ́.